While intelligence is complex and multifaceted, stupidity is often less about raw IQ and more about a lack of critical thinking, self-awareness, or emotional regulation. Here are 10 common behavioral signs often associated with a lack of intellectual or social awareness. 1. The Dunning-Kruger effect. People who lack competence in a subject often overestimate their own knowledge. They speak with absolute certainty on topics they barely understand, while experts are usually more cautious and aware of nuances. 2. Inability to admit errors. A major sign of intelligence is the ability to say, "I was wrong," or "I don't know." Conversely, a sign of lower cognitive flexibility is a refusal to admit mistakes, often doubling down even when presented with clear evidence. 3. Lack of intellectual curiosity. A closed mind is often a stagnant one. Those who show no interest in how things work, never ask why, or refuse to engage with new ideas tend to rely on outdated or oversimplified worldviews. 4. Constant defensiveness. When someone perceives every correction or different opinion as a personal attack, they stop learning. They prioritize protecting their ego over gaining new information. 5. Reliance on stereotypes and overgeneralization. Using broad labels to categorize groups of people or complex situations is a cognitive shortcut. It indicates a struggle to process the complexity and individuality of the real world. 6. Poor emotional control. Research suggests a link between lower cognitive processing and a short fuse. People who immediately resort to anger or shouting when challenged often lack the verbal or logical tools to navigate a disagreement effectively. 7. Following the crowd blindly. A lack of independent thought often leads to herd mentality. This is the tendency to adopt beliefs or behaviors simply because they are popular, without analyzing whether they are logical or ethical. 8. Talking more than listening. Effective communication requires processing what others say. People who dominate conversations and wait for their turn to speak rather than listening to understand miss the data necessary for growth. 9. Blaming external factors. When things go wrong, the first instinct of a less aware person is to find a scapegoat. They struggle with internal locus of control, the understanding that their own choices and actions contribute to their outcomes. 10. Inability to think long-term. A hallmark of higher intelligence is delayed gratification. Those who consistently prioritize immediate, short-term impulses over long-term consequences often struggle with the abstract reasoning required for success. A note on perspective. We all exhibit some of these traits occasionally. True intelligence is the ability to recognize these patterns in ourselves and actively work to correct them. Would you like me to help you explore some exercises for developing critical thinking or emotional intelligence to counter these habits?